Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I am Carly Bell, and welcome to my craft room. I love doing machine embroidery tutorials, and today we are going to be doing something a little special, and that is unboxing the subscription that I get, which is called Perfectly Piece, and it's all quilting in the hoop, and it's really, really cool, especially for someone that's coming with little to no quilting background and sewing background. It's amazing that I can put together perfect little quilt blocks now, thanks to this subscription. So, hi, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hi, Patricia. So, thank you all for joining me, and a big thank you to Me Time Delivered and Perfectly Piece for sponsoring tonight's video. So, what we're going to do tonight is unbox the December Perfectly Pieced subscription box. I'm going to show you everything that comes in it. And then we are going to put a quilt block together, and there is a special project. So the way the subscription works is first you have two choices. One, you can get it delivered to you digitally. So that means nothing coming in the mail, don't have to worry about paying for shipping for anything. And you just get a embroidery file download with everything you need, all the information, all of the embroidery files. I can't even count how many embroidery files are included with the each month's subscription, because they give you so many options. And all of the instructions, all the beautiful PDF looks like. And then the really cool thing with the Perfectly Piece subscription that they've been doing for since the beginning, but they've really stepped up their game, I find, in the past probably year or so, is they have a special project each month. So you have tons of options of making beautiful pillow covers or table runners. That's kind of like your go-to option every month. But each month they have been also providing pattern and instructions for other types of sewing projects. And December's special project is a gift bag, a drawstring gift bag, where we're going to turn our quilt block into this. Not very good at holding things. So this is what we are making tonight. We're going to make the quilt block in the hoop, and then we're going to use our sewing machine to make this lined drawstring gift bag. So I love this project. It's so pretty, and it is perfect for putting some little gifts in and having it all ready to go under the Christmas tree, wrapped and ready. And you could put a little tag on it. It'd be super cute. So this is the special project for December, and that's what we are going to be doing tonight. Okay. I'm checking the chat. So if you have been following me for the past month or so, you know I've had some internet gremlins happening at my house. The last show we had, everything went great. So fingers crossed that it's going to go great again tonight. So I see a couple people saying frozen in the chat. So let me do a test and see if everything is still working. So let me know in the chat. On my end, I have good internet. So let me know in the live chat whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, if you can see and hear me well, because that has been something I have been struggling with. So, okay. All right now. Thank you, Norma. Okay. Everybody keep their fingers crossed. If it gets bad, please let me know, and I will do like I did last time and just record the whole tutorial and put it up on YouTube and Facebook later for you. So just let me know in the chat if at any point it gets unbearable, because that's what happened a while back. And so I don't want that to happen again. But all right, so any questions about Perfectly Piece? Are y'all ready to see what's inside the box? Just let me know in the chat. I'm going to switch y'all over to the craft table now so you can see my little box. So this is the doorstep subscription box, and it comes in the same kind of box every month, and I love it because it just holds everything perfectly and holds it so perfectly. I can't, there we go. My box is getting stuff on me. All right, so this is what you get. Beautiful packaging, Perfectly Piece, and every month we get this little card that tells us what month we're in. It actually gives you a preview of the block that we're stitching out. And then on the back, it gives you all the information of the fabrics that we're using and tells you all the digital contents. So if you do just get the digital subscription, you see that here, you get all the PDF instructions, all of the different embroidery files. They have any from 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch blocks. They have some with custom quilting, some you can get without it and just the piecing. And then they have additional coordinating quilting designs. They have clear blue tile designs. They have block by block quilting designs, and then additional resources. So that's all your digital contents. And then for the physical box, what I love is that it tells you what each fabric is. So in case, like I love this red fabric I'm about to show you, and that one, the piece wasn't very large. I have enough to do both projects I want to do with it, but I would love to get more of this fabric. So I can see exactly what the name of the fabric is and who the designer is, and I can go online or to my local fabric store and try to find more of that particular fabric. So I love that you get all that information. So they're showing you all the different fabrics, and these are like the really good fabrics that like they feel like butter in your hand. So they feel really really good, and like high quality cotton quilting fabric, I would say definitely. And we're going to go over the other goodies in there. So let me show you the fabrics more up close. So you always get a bundle of fabrics. All right. I'm telling you this now. I have already cut almost all of the fabric I need for the mini quilt that I'm making and the little gift bag that we're making tonight. So this is leftover. So not only do you get enough fabric to do like I'm doing 2 projects with it, but then you're going to have some left over for other projects. So this is a nice creamy fabric, and there's just some very small detail of some swirls going on. So I really like this like muted creamy fabric. Love this one. This is just a sort of an off-white. It's not a super white, more creamy with these mint green little dashes on it. Love, love this one. I have a good bit left of this one because I'm still determining. I still need to cut the lining for my bag for tonight, which I think I'm going to end up using this, and see if I still have enough for the backing for my mini quilt I'm making. So that's why I still have a good bit of this one, but it's probably going to get used. I love this one. This is like a starry night, like navy blue with these like teal, different shapes of stars in them. Really, really pretty. And then we have like a solid teal kind of color. Sorry, my camera doesn't always like the colors that I show on it. So if it looks like it's weirding out on you, I apologize. We have this beautiful red, and within the red, they have some like lighter red triangles. So that is the red. We have like, this is kind of like a sage green, and it has like a grid pattern on it. Really like this one. And then I think this one's my favorite. So this is the red floral, and they have these little pink doves in between the floral. So really love this one. This is all I have left of this fabric after cutting out my mini quilt and my bag, because I did most of the blocks with this one because I love it so much. And then I have extra of the navy with the teal stars. I used this piece to cut what I needed for my mini quilt. So I still have a whole section here left over. That's a really nice piece. It's probably a 1/4 yard. Yeah, this is like a 1/4 yard of this fabric that I can use for a future project. So that is all your fabric that comes with it. I don't know the yardage offhand. I want to say it's like 2 to 3 yards total you get of fabric in a bundle every month. So you're going to get all of the fabrics that they show in their example pictures, and you get really more than enough to do like a mini quilt, or a pillowcase, and then whatever the special project is for the month. All right, so that's the fabric. The other things we're getting this month, what you get every month is you get a spool of thread, and this is glide thread, and it's probably hard for you to see, but it is like a very dark green. It's called Midnight Storm, and it's a really, really pretty dark green. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the quilt block because I have one stitched out already for you. But every month we'll get a spool of thread, and then every month we get a pin, and the pin has the block pattern for this month. So our block pattern looks like a little present. So I have a special little flag from, I want to say the July 23 box, that we can put these pins on. So I have that for these pins and like all the cute little pins that come in the Bella box, that I can collect all of these on. So this is like just a cute little collectible, and you can display it however you want, but I think they're really fun. Usually get some kind of notion every month. And so since this month's box is a drawstring gift bag, they gave you some really pretty cording. So here it is. I didn't want to use it on this bag. I didn't know if I had enough to do two. I probably do. But I didn't want to use it on this bag just in case. I wanted to save it for tonight. So really pretty red, shiny cording. And that's going to go to hold our bag. So for my little practice project I did, I just used some twine that I had in my craft room, but this is going to look a lot prettier. I have to go buy some more of this at the craft store so I can make more of these bags. So that, and then last but definitely not least is the beautiful instructions. So every month you are going to get the single block with quilting instructions. There are several sets of instructions depending on which project you're doing, but this is like the really general, showing you how to put the quilt block together in the hoop step by step. And it also shows you the different sizes and what the projects are for those sizes. So this is the 4-inch block project is an example of a way that you could tumble your blocks and sew them together, to make a mini quilt, a table, like center piece, or a pillow. I love the pillows. This is the 6-inch block project, and this is the 8-inch. The 6-inch also includes some 2-inch little mini blocks in the corners here, which I love. And then this is the special project, which is the gift bag project, which we're going to be making tonight. I am also making this one because I am obsessed with it. I think it is so cute. So I have my 4 big blocks made. I have everything cut out. The only thing I have left to do is stitch the 4 little mini blocks, but I'm going to show you how that project's coming along. But we get that in every box. So you get all these beautiful instructions, show you right where to place everything and how to do it. And then online, when you get your digital download of all your files, because even if you get the doorstep, you're still going to get all the embroidery files are still all online in your digital library. And in there, they have additional instructions. So like here, I have printed out the instructions for the gift bag. And here I have instructions for the 6-inch little mini quilt. And it goes through, what I love about it is it goes through exactly how to cut your fabric to get the most out of it, for the project, and then shows you, after you've made all your blocks, how to piece everything together. So the same thing for the gift bag is it showed me you have 2 options. You can make a little bag. So this one has a 4-inch block, or you can stitch out an 8-inch block and make a much larger bag, if you would like. So it gives you instructions for both. It gives you cutting fabric cuts for both the 4-inch and the 8-inch. And then it shows you how to sew everything up. And there's also a part where we're going to sew some buttonholes embroider some buttonholes in the fabric for the cord to go through. But it's really well done. It shows you everything step by step, and you really can't go wrong. So that is it for the actual box. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and let me show you the blocks that I was making earlier today, but I'm not done with. So these are 6-inch blocks. So I made 2 with the green presents. You see them here? And these have the quilting on them. So they have batting and quilting. And then this is the red block, which I told you I love that red fabric. So these are that. So I have a 9.5 by 14-inch hoop on my brother's Stellaire. And so I'm able to fit 2 6-inch blocks and 1 hooping. And then like later on, probably tomorrow, I'm going to do the 4 little 2-inch blocks and 1 hooping. So I'm trying to get as much done in 1 hoop as possible. I probably could have even fit some of those 2-inch blocks here, but I didn't do it. But that is a really cool process that you can do. I use embroidery software. I open my quilt blocks in embroidery software and I duplicate it, and then I make it color sort so that I'm stitching the same thing on each block in a row. So I'm not stitching out this whole block at one time and then stitching out this one. I have it sorted in a way to where it does the placement stitch for this, does the placement stitch for this, does the piece here, the piece here, and so on. So it makes the process go a lot quicker whenever I do that. So I can stitch multiple blocks at one time. So if you're doing a larger project, think about how you can do more than one block and a hoop to help you get more done at one time. But for tonight's project, we are just making one single 4-inch block. So the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your 5 by 7 hoop. Now, even though this is a 4-inch block, the finish on the design itself is more like 4.5 to allow for seam allowance whenever you're sewing. The finished block is 4-inch, but it needs to be 4.5 by 4.5 to give you some seam allowance. So you are going to need a 5 by 7 hoop for the 4-inch block. And for stabilizer, Me Time recommends using the Kimberbell ultralight mesh cutaway. So this is the stabilizer that I'm using. So you want to use some kind of mesh cutaway stabilizer, and you just want to cut enough to be a little bit bigger than the hoop. And all you need to do is hoop your stabilizer. I love projects where you only have to hoop the stabilizer. Let me cut this bit off here. All right. Hi, everyone in the chat. Hi, Arlene and Betty and Linda and Norma. I hope y'all are all doing good. And I hope my internet is still being good for y'all. All right. So I am just hooping the mesh stabilizer and tightening that up. So that's all you need to do. And then we're ready. We're ready to roll. Now, in the instructions for the gift bag, like I said, one of the things I love is it tells me exactly all the fabric cuts that I need. So I have everything already cut out here. These are pieces for the little present, the sides, the bottom. They have the cuff, which I'm going to show you. This is like the present. This is like the top where the bow is. This is the top of the bag, the top back of the bag, and so on. So this is all of our border pieces, and then the back of the bag. The only thing I did not cut out is what is going to be the lining, because I was waiting to see how much of this fabric I have left, but I think I'm going to cut that while it's stitching. We'll cut some more of this out for the lining. So in these instructions here, it tells you exactly how much to cut so that you can have everything prepped and ready to go. Norma said my internet is behaving like a sleeping baby. Like randomly wake up. All right. Okay. So instructions are a beautiful thing. So I have all of that pre-cut and ready. Now, because we're doing the gift bag, I'm not doing any batting and I'm not doing any quilting. However, if you wanted to, I'm sure you could. But like on these blocks, the first step is actually a placement step for a piece of batting. So like you see here, I already have my batting cut out for my little 2-inch mini blocks that I'm going to make later. And you put your batting and you trim it just like an applique. Then you start piecing your fabric pieces on top of the batting. And then the last step is the quilting design. So you're finished. When I'm done, I cut this out. It shows me right where to cut. And I love that it's cut with your seam allowance, so that the batting is not in your seam allowance. The batting is the finished block size. So that's great. So you don't have all that bulk in your seams. So if you're stitching regular blocks, you will need some batting, but it shows you like the way it stitches out is really, really good. But for the bag, I'm not using it. So we're going to go straight into piecing the block together. So I'm going to go over to my machine now, and I cannot see the chat when I'm at the machine, but I'm going to come and check it every few minutes to make sure everything's going good. But let me bring this over here. Alrighty. So I'm just going to load my hoop. And I have my design already pulled up. And let me change my thread color so that y'all can actually see it. Maybe a silver. Now, whatever thread color you choose to piece doesn't matter so much because it's all going to be underneath. You're not going to see it. You probably don't want to use like black or really contrasting color, but I want to make sure that y'all can see everything I'm stitching. So we'll see if this silver works. Probably will still be light. All right, so the first step, because we're not doing the batting and the quilting, the first step is like a full-on outline of the whole block, showing you where all the pieces are going to go. So I am going to start that. And it really helps give you an idea of, you know, where everything's going to end up when you're done. All right, I got all my pieces next to my machine, kind of laid out how they're going to go. All right, so far so good. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Aledra. Hi, Elena and Annette. Okay, Elena said she had to leave and refresh. We're good now. Okay. Everybody keep their fingers crossed. So for my new friends joining me here the first time watching me tonight, I've had some internet troubles at my house, unfortunately. I think I've done almost everything I can with talking to the company and plugging a wire directly from my modem to my computer. So we're trying to keep everything nice and clear and not blurry and everything for y'all. So everybody keeps their fingers crossed. All right, so it is done stitching the thing. Let me see. Maybe if I turn this light off, y'all can see better, because sometimes that happens on my machine. Where the light is good for me, though, but the light is not good for y'all. I just have to find where light. That might be better. Yeah, let's turn that down. So then y'all can actually see the stitching. So it has, I don't know if you can see that, but it's giving me a nice outline of the block. So the first block is what the piece that's in the middle of the bow. Now this is going to be the only piece where you're going to put your fabric right side up. Okay. All of the rest of the pieces, when we add them, we'll be putting it right side down and folding it over, just kind of like a piece by piece method. If you're that quilting, there's a piece by piece method you could do. It's similar to that from after this point. So this piece of fabric is going to cover this first triangle. Make sure everything is where I want it. You can use some paper tape to tape the fabric down if you want to. I personally don't find that's necessary. So I think I got it where I want it. Make sure it's there. And what you're going to want to keep by you while you're working. So there are several tools that I'm always using. And I got a new tool today that I'm very excited to show y'all. I used it for the first time on those other quote blocks I showed you, and I think it's my new favorite thing. Now, you want to have some good applique scissors. I have the little tweezer like scissors. Also, if you want to use duckbill scissors, you can use those as well. So whatever kind of scissors work for you. I just got this really nice set from the Me Time shop. So not only do they have the subscriptions and stuff, but they have a shop like full of supplies. So I finally splurged. This is an early Christmas present for me, is the scissors from Kimberbell. So you have like a really nice set. And the stabilizer you can find in the Me Time shop. And this other little nifty tool I'm going to show you. Now, normally before this, I use my iron a lot, but tonight I'm going to show you a way we don't need to use the iron. So what happened just now was it stitched this one line, and I used my applique scissors to trim that piece off. So we have that line. The next step is the triangle that's the bow, and I'm doing that in this red fabric. And what we're going to do is put the red fabric face down, and this works as a placement line. So it shows you right where to put your fabric. You want the edge of your fabric right on that stitch line. And that's pretty much the rest of this plays out, where we get a line, we trim, and then we use that line to place our next bit of fabric, and then we fold. So this is the part where I would always take the hoop off the machine, go to my table with my little mini iron, and I would iron this piece into place. So you want to take this, fold it over, and this is where I would iron, right? Well, I found my friend Bethany told me about this tool. Bethany has a YouTube channel called Bethadilly. She does awesome work, mostly with like crickets and stuff, the Cricut cut machine. But she told me about this, and this is a fabric folding pin. And all I'm going to do is take and put some of the liquid right on the stitch line, and this is going to allow me to put this over and finger press it, and it's going to be just like I ironed it. So I am going to do that right here. And it's like a little squeezy pin, and it comes with extra liquid. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and just finger press it. And y'all saw how when I pulled it over before, it was kind of bumping up. Now it like folds perfectly. So I love this new little pin. I'm using this for all my quilt blocks now. So if you don't have one of these, you can use your iron. A little mini iron works well that fits in the hoop. But this little pin is really cool. I like it a lot. All right, we're going to put that down. And then the next step is kind of something similar on the other side. We're going to stitch, we're going to trim, and then we're going to place our fabric and then fold it over. Yeah, like that's a neat little pin. I hadn't seen that before. I did not know anything about it until Bethany told me about it, because we were both working on the spring showers quilt from Kimberbell, and she told me how much she used that when she was doing her spring showers quilt. All right, so we have that line. We're going to trim that. Okay, so that is nice and trimmed. And then what we need to put our other bow, we're going to put it face down like this, and then it's going to stitch the next line, and then we can fold it over. All right, I saw somebody say the Kimberbell scissor set is the best cutting tools. Yeah. So let me put that up there. Hi Kim, how are you doing? And let's see. Okay. Hey Delcy, I see Delcy's there. All right, so we have our stitch line here. I'm gonna use my little pen. I think I used a lot of liquid today because I'm not used to like how much I need to press. I think I probably wasted a lot today doing my other quilt blocks. Put that line, just do a little finger press, and boom, it's just like I ironed it. I love it. All right, and then the next line, we're gonna do the sides. I gotta put this down. Okay. Now we're gonna do the two little white or cream colored sides next to the bow, and that gives the bow the definition. So stitch line, and then trim. Sometimes I could get away with not taking my hoop out of the machine at all before I trim, and sometimes I got to take it out. It just depends. All right, so that is trimmed, and this is going to be, I got these two little white pieces for either side here. So I'm going to put this down right on top of my placement stitch and go. And you see now why they call this perfectly piece, because when you're done, you're going to end up with like perfect corners that I would never be able to accomplish if I was piecing this together the normal way. All right, I'm going to leave this one like this right now because the next side is the same exact thing. So we're going to stitch, trim, and then put our other little piece. All right. I always find look for times where I can do, like, especially when I was going to my table and ironing, like times I didn't have to take the hoop off the machine, and I could do, if it was something that didn't interfere, I could do two sides and then go iron everything. So that's the case with this piece, and then they got these two outer pieces. You can end up doing the same thing. But you see, like, you don't really need to tape the fabric down. I think placing it right on the stabilizer works well. Also, if you have, where's my little stiletto? I'm gonna go get it in a second. But a little stiletto just to kind of stand by and make sure nothing moves. But I have these two lines I'm gonna do with my pen. And finger press, finger press. So you could see how this is coming together now, how we have our bow. And I believe next is going to be the pretty red fabric that I like. So it's going to be a stitch line going across, trim, and then we get to put my pretty fabric. All right. And just trim right across. Sometimes I might have a stitch from a previous part that went down. I just kind of stitch around it. It's only a problem if you're using like a really dark color underneath and then a lighter color on top. But you can usually cut those little stitches there and it comes right out. Or you can just leave it. All right, So we have that stitch line. All my foot out the way. And now, so that's going straight across. Now we're going to take whatever fabric we want for the actual box of the present, face down along that line, and then it's going to stitch again. While it's doing that, I'm going to go check the chat real quick. All right. Patricia X is a really good question. Is this the same pin from Collectible Christmas? No, it is not. So Collectible Christmas came with a water brush pin. So it's kind of the same concept in that it's refillable, but this one has kind of like a felt marker tip. And this one has like a paintbrush tip. I ended up using tearaway for mine because I don't have water soluble big enough for my giant hoop. I need to order some, but I couldn't wait. So I just did it with tearaway. But see, this kind of has like a brush top. So this comes with Collectible Christmas so that you can do your project with woven wash away stabilizer. And when you're done, you can kind of melt away the stabilizer all around your project and then just pull it right off. So it's a really cool concept, but I haven't played with it yet because I need larger pieces of stabilizer. All right, we got that line. Now, did y'all see my collectible Christmas tree skirt I made yesterday? Was it yesterday? Yeah, I made it yesterday. I'm obsessed with it. I wish I could get all the pieces right now so I could put the tree skirt under my tree because I love it so much. All right, so I put the fabric, and let me get my stiletto because this is another little tool that is helpful. Just making sure that things stitch everywhere. So this is a little clover stiletto. And what happens next? So now we're going to do these two side pieces. So it's going to be similar to like these two. And so if anything, you want to make sure this is pulled where it's once. That's where the little stiletto really helps. But Elise kind of broke mine. So now when I pull it, it does this. All right. We're going to trim. And I need to take this off to do it. All right, so we have that. And then where are my two pieces for the side? This is it. Okay, so this is a piece right side down. Use my stitch as my guide. And put this back in. I think I need to put more liquid in here. This came with this liquid, which looks like I need to buy more of already. I just need to learn how to control it better. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this side just like we did the top and wait to fix both of these at the same time. All right, how's everything going in the chat? So Norma said, what is the name of the pen? So the pen I'm using tonight is called a fabric folding pen. It's made by Clover, and it came in this container. And I'm pretty sure that is in the Me Time. That is available in the Me Time shop. All right, so that is trimmed. I get my other piece, right side down, right on the line. Boom. That's that. Let's see, what else is happening. So Elena said 5x7 hoop. Yes, we're working on a 5x7 hoop right now. I don't have a link for the pin, Tina, but I will find one for you. So from what I understand, but they told me it's going to change soon. The Me Time shop was only available to people that had a subscription. So like I have a subscription, so I can go in the shop and go shopping. They had some good sales too recently, but I think they're over now. But I got these cute little Kimberbell, those pillowcases, that are like already open. So you can embroider on them easily. Anyway, they have a shop. They have all kinds of stuff, good stuff in it. But it was only open to people who had a subscription. However, I think they're changing it, but I don't know when, to where anybody can go and shop in the Me Time store. But they have a lot of good Kimberbell products, like blanks. They have the stabilizer, they have the tools, and they have downloads for older stuff. So like if you just started subscribing and you saw one of the boxes from like a couple months ago, they might still have some to where you can order it, or you can get the digital download of it. So they got all kinds of good stuff in there. One thing I was thinking about getting, because I missed it a couple years ago. Y'all remember when the Bella box sold out? Like you could not get it anymore. I was so upset. It was like a Christmas themed Bella box. It was sold out. You couldn't get it anymore. In the Me Time store, they have the digital version of the box where you can get all the designs and all the instructions. You just don't get the supplies that came in the box, but you can get all the designs. So I was thinking about buying that because I really did love that box. They had all kind of cute stuff. My next project, once I finish this little mini quilt, I need to start the countdown to Christmas pillow that is in this year's Bella box. That's next on my list of things to make. So that did a line across. We trimmed. This is the last piece. It goes on the bottom like that. And this is the last bit of piecing, and then it's gonna do like an outline stitch, which is beautiful because it shows you right where to cut the block. All right, one of the reasons why I'm probably running out of liquid is I think I have a lot of liquid coming out the side of this pen because I squeezed it too much. All right, so I'm gonna do my pin line. I'm squeezing too much. Okay. And press. Okay, and the last step is just an outline, and that's where you really want to make sure these outer pieces are nice and flat. And this is like when I'm going to probably use my stiletto to really make sure everything is where I want it. Looks good. Oh, that looks good. Yes. Very nice. So my block is all done. All right. So block is done. You have lines to show you right where to cut. If you have the Kimberbell orange pop rulers, you can use those as well. But it shows you like right where to cut. So it's really nice. There is one more thing that we need to embroider for the gift bag though, and that is some buttonholes in the piece of fabric that goes above this. Let me show you on the other one. Let's come over to the craft table now. Okay, so here's our quilt block we just made. And here is the little buttonhole. So you see this piece of fabric right above? We need these buttonholes. So I'm going to undo this and put a new piece of stabilizer. Now, in the instructions, they have it set up to where it's 2 different hoopings in a 4x4 hoop, or 2 different stitch outs. They do have an option for like an 8x12 hoop, but I wanted to show you a 5x7 hoop option that I kind of cheated and got to work for me so that I could do the 2 buttonholes in 1 hooping in a 5x7 hoop. All right, so that's our mesh cutaway stabilizer. All right. And we are going to need the piece of fabric that you are putting at the top of your bag. So I have that over here. All right, let me check the chat real quick. All right. Patricia says she couldn't find the pin in the Me Time store. If I don't know how to link the Me Time store. So if I figure that out, Patricia, I'm going to send it to you. If not, we'll find another store I'm sure has it, like Sewing Machines Plus or Amazon and stuff. All right, I'm closing this. I'm going back to my main screen and I'm going to show you what I did. Now, in the instructions, let's find this. This is the buttonholes. So if they give you a 4x4 option, and I think they give you an 8x12 option. But what they want you to do is load your stabilizer. They're recommending a sticky back so that it holds the fabric right in place. I just use some tape to tape the fabric down, so that's up to you. It's going to show you right to where to put the corner of the fabric, and it's going to do the buttonhole. Then it wants you to do it again on the other side. What I did was I opened up these 2 designs, and you could do it on your machine or you could do it in embroidery software. And I made sure they were going the same direction, and I put one all the way at the top of the hoop and one all the way at the bottom of the hoop. So even though, let's see, which piece of fabric am I doing this with? Is it this one? This seems a lot smaller than what this one is. Ooh, let me check my cuts. Make sure I cut everything correctly. That's leftovers. Because look, this piece looks a lot smaller than this piece. Let me see if I cut this correctly. This is the bottom. Oh no. What did I do? Did I not even cut that piece? I might have missed it. The cuff. I did the cuff. It's supposed to be red fabric. Here it is. Boom. Okay, that's my front and my back. All right, so if you lay this down, it's actually it's bigger than your embroidery field on a 5x7 hoop. So what I'm doing is I'm cheating, and it's going to stitch one corner with the buttonhole. I'm going to have that here. And then when it's done stitching, I'm just going to position this one where it's right where it needs to be. And you see the fabric's got some stretch in it. So that is how I'm getting 2 buttonholes in one 5x7 hooping. But you need to open both the designs, make sure they're situated right. I just opened up one and I moved it all the way to the top. And I opened up the other one and used my little arrow key and moved it all the way to the bottom so that they're like still centered. All right, so the first step is showing you the corner, the bottom corner in this case. And I'm going to close that. Okay. Let me get my tape. Here it is. All right. Okay, got my tape. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but that's the little corner. That is where I'm going to line my fabric up, that corner. There's where it's just right. And I'm going to tape it into place so it doesn't budge. Again, they recommend sticky back tearaway stabilizer. That is also very much an option. All right, so that is there. And I need to change my thread color because I'm going to do red buttonholes. Yeah, let's do red buttonholes. So change your thread color to what you want. Put this where it belongs. Everything's good. Now it's going to do that satin stitch buttonhole. I'm just remembering I don't remember seeing the step where there's an option to do this cute little lines going across. I don't think we did that on this block that I just made. Did I miss that step completely? I can't do it now because I removed it from the hoop. But there's an option to do some like ribbon going down and across your hoop. All right, so that is done. And so now it's going to move all the way to the top of the hoop. So first, just let me move this out of the way. So I'm just going to do this. Now it's going to stitch my placement line right into the stabilizer. Okay, so I got my placement line. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to take this tape off so I could reuse it. All right, so we have this placement line here, and I'm going to put my fabric right where it goes, and I'm going to tape it in place just like I did down here. And we have that buttonhole. Where it goes, close, and second buttonhole. And then that's done. So I need to go cut this out. And let me turn my iron on. I can give it a press. All right, so we have our finished block. And here's my ruler. And here's my rotary blade. I do have the Kimberbell orange pop rulers too. Let me see if I can grab that quickly. This is the square one. Yeah. So these are fun too. I bought these when I was working on the spring showers quilt. So either you can take this and just run right along this stitch line and then go all the way around. I also have a rotating cutting mat that makes that helpful. And then this kind of works the same way. You line it up with those stitch lines like this. And it's got these grooves in it to where you can get your rotary blade. I'm not very good at this. I already messed it up. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit smaller on this side. Don't do like I do. I'm just going to do it this way. I still haven't mastered the orange pop rulers. I think I'm doing it the wrong way. Like I'm holding my rotary blade the wrong way because I'm not pressing against it like I should be. All right, so there's my block. And now we're going to start piecing everything together. And I got some clips. And let's get, now I'll keep all my pieces over here. So that I got everything in one spot. And I do still need to cut my lining. Okie dokie. All right. Okay, there's my block. This is my finished top with the buttonholes. So you see that is done. Oh well. Okay, this I need to cut away anyway. I want to say the last time I did it, I did use tear away. So it made it a lot easier. But we can just cut out these little buttonholes. All this is going to be lined, so you're not going to see it. And we're going to use a seam ripper to cut open that little hole. All right. And what else I need to do? I need to go convert my machine to a sewing machine, which is one thing I love about it. I have the Stellaire, what is it called? XJ2, which means it's a sewing and embroidery combo. And it's beautiful for projects like this because I like literally press a button and the embroidery arm moves out the way and I could sew. I put my presser foot on and I'm done. All right, here's my seam ripper. I don't have a lot of experience with this, so if y'all have any tips for me, but all I know is just to put my seam ripper in and very carefully go to the top like this without cutting the threads, right? I'm going to try not to poke myself. And I try not to cut into my threads. Like right there. There we go. All right, everything going okay on y'all end, guys? It camera is not blurry or nothing for you? All right. That's the top. That's the bottom. Let's see. Where's my instructions? So you got your sides. I think we have this bigger one goes here. No, bigger one goes here. Skinnier one goes here. So this is all your pieces for the front. So the first thing we're going to do is sew these together. So we go right sides together here and here, and everything's made for a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let's see. Karen, okay, let's see. Karen has a good pointer for me and everybody else. Put a pin in the end so you won't accidentally cut past your stitches. I love that. So I would do this probably on my wool mat, but I would do something like this so that when my seam ripper gets to it, it won't cut into it. That's a great idea. Love it. Thank you for that. All right. Okay. Everything camera-wise is good. Woohoo! Okay. And then I see somebody asking, oh, Norma's asking, am I ready for Countdown to Christmas? Yes, ma'am. I was, Blaine emailed me today the schedule. So I'm going to be on Monday teaching a class. And I still am working on what the idea is going to be. So I'm going to teach you how to make something that's going to be a great last minute Christmas present. And I'll have the design download for y'all for free. For everybody that watches. And then I think I'm going to be back on Thursday and I'm going to do a demo of my brother's 6-needle machine and the Durkee easy frames. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But they have so many good presenters. Reen from Embroidery Garden's going to be there, Joanne Banco, and Becky Thompson from Power Tools with Thread. They're going to be all kind of good people. Love it, love it. All right, I am getting everything ready now to sew. So the first thing I do is I go to my home screen. Am I doing this? Yeah. Okay, all I have to do is hit sewing. And I don't know if y'all could see that, but the embroidery arm just moves like completely out the way. So now I have all the space to sew. I don't have to take the whole embroidery unit off of the machine, which is good for me because I have a printer right next door and I really don't have a lot of room to do that. So now I just need to change the foot. I got this handy dandy little screwdriver. The embroidery foot comes right off. And the embroidery foot is actually plugged into the back to give you the laser light. So I just put that on the side. I put mine, I think this is a normal J foot on. And boom, I'm ready to sew. I change out my bobbin to a regular one. And thread to match. Okay. And thread the needle and pick my stitch. And that's it. So I'm weird. I sew standing up. All of my tables are counter height. So I do have like a stool, but I pretty much always sew standing up. So I'm going to put this on the heel. And I am just piecing these together with that 1/4 inch seam allowance. So now we're going to take this back to the table, and I guess we could use our folding fabric if we wanted to, but I'm going to press everything open. Okay, craft table. And here's what we just did. I got my little mini iron ready to go. Let me press this while I'm at it. Now, hoping I didn't throw it off too much when I trimmed one side of my block not very well. Hope I didn't mess it up too bad. Let's see. Okay, so here's our piece we just did. So now we're going to do the bottom and the top. So the bottom is the thicker piece, and the top is here. Yeah, you can see where I got more than I need because normally this would line up very nicely if I wouldn't have messed up my cuts. But it's fine. So just clipping these in place. And we're going to go back to the machine, same thing. All right. And the other night when I was doing my test run, my cat was like right here. I posted a picture on Instagram, I think, and Facebook of Owen being all up in my business. He's like, "What you making? What you doing? How's that work?" So I have to shut the door when I'm doing videos because he will come and tell all y'all hi, just like Elise. But Elise is not coming to visit this evening because her dad took her and Abigail to a restaurant. One of Abby's little friends' birthday is today, and they're having a nice birthday dinner. But I'm sure if she comes home before this tutorial's over, she is going to come make an appearance. Okay, hopefully I'm sorry if y'all are seeing my shoulder. I didn't pay attention to how the camera's looking while I'm sewing. Let me know if I need to move it a little bit. Or am I showing y'all my shoulder the whole time? And okay, so this is what we just did. This is the bottom, right? Okay. And this is the top. All coming together very nicely. And let's see what's next. Then we're going to put the cuff, and that's going to be the piece with the buttonhole is here. So we're going to do that, and then here, like so, and clip. All right, Dawn is saying she purchased my digital filing library last week. Thank you, Dawn. I hope you're enjoying it. I keep trying to make it a point to like spend at least like one day a week where I spend some time at my computer and I add my designs to my digital database. So if you don't know what we're talking about, I made a system to help me organize all of my embroidery files, like the 10 million embroidery files that I have. I came up with a system. It's working really great for me so far, but like I said, I have so many embroidery designs, it's going to be a process of entering them. But I made a database where I can enter the information from my design, like where I bought it, what size it comes in, is it applique, is it a font, whatever the case may be. And also like a little screenshot picture of the design. So then it works to where I can search it and tag it, like make a category for it. So if it's a Christmas design, it can go in the Christmas category. If it's multiple categories, you can, tag it for each one. So then you can do a search. So like next year for Christmas, you know, I want it to be to where when I am looking for designs, I can see everything in one nice place. So that's the goal with that. It's called the Embroidery Design Organizer. Alrighty then, so we now have our cuff and then all around here. So next, we're gonna put the back together. So that's the front, and here is the back of the bag, this way, right? So we're going to put together the back of the bag like this. Put the cuff and the bottom right sides together. And we're going to go sew right here. So when we're done, we have a front and a back, and then we can put those together. And then along with the lining as well. So that's what I still need to cut, the lining. So sweet. Let's see. Carly, you only need 4 to 5 drops of clover solution to water ratio. Oh my God, Kimberly. Thank you for pointing out that I don't read instructions. I don't need to use just the solution. I'm supposed to dilute it. That's what I get for not reading instructions. Am I by the machine? Can y'all see me? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Kimberly. I probably would use a lot less solution if I paid attention. Okay. So now we have the back of the bag. And we are here. We are here. So iron that. Okie dokie. And then now we are going to put the front and the back right sides together. And we are going to stitch a U. So leave the top open. And this is what we're stitching. And then I will cut my lining pieces. I think one of the things when you're putting this together, make sure these are the 2 seams that are really matching up. I think I did that first last time. Make sure those seams are really matching up nicely. Okay, so now we're going to go do our U going all around, leave the top open, and we're going to go stitch that with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So let's see. Okay, Norma says I am not the first. She knows for other people to use just the thing. Let's see. Lisa has the acorn pressing solution. She wonders if it's the same. She's going to go read about it now. Everybody read the instructions. Don't be like me. Read instructions. I read the Kimberbell instructions. I did not read the folding pin instructions. All right. And now I'm going to backstitch and all the things. Okay. I wanted to stitch it on the other side because this side is a little bit it's not like lined up perfectly. All right. So let's do this side. And this is probably when my stiletto is going to come in to be helpful for these seams. Okay. One more. I'm never a good judge of when to pivot so that I keep everything nice. Hey, got that one. Okay, this is getting way too close. Okay, so that is done. Now I think I need to go cut my lining. Finally. Alrighty then. Okay, so this is our bag, but now we need to stitch the lining. So I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna go back here. So the lining needs to be 8.5 by 10.5, and I need 2 pieces. So where's all my pretty fabric? Where'd I put it? In the box? Nope. There it is. And I had ironed this already, but now I got creases in it. Oh well. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see what I said, 8.5 by 10.5. You know this is not 17 inches tall right there. Can't use that bit. So we'll have to go this way. Where'd I put my rotary cutter? There it is. Okay, so let's go 8.5 this way. I'm going 10.5 tall. Let me always second guess myself. 10.5. Something like this, and then another 8.5, maybe 22 on here. Okay. So now I have my lining pieces, and I need to do the same thing we did with the front and the back of the bag, except we're going to come down here, and then we're going to stop right here. We're going to leave a hole at the bottom so that we can turn the bag out when we're done. So let me double check. I'm sewing this the right direction. Yep. Okay. And I could use my little pin here to remind me. Let's stop there and stop there. All right, and let's go over back to the machine. Okay. So this is our lining, and we're sewing it just like the front, except we're going to leave that hole at the bottom. I don't have this lined up just like I want it. I never know just how particular to be when I'm going and I'm lining pieces up. Like, I want them to be perfect, but I should know that they probably don't have to be perfect. It's all in my head. Right. Pivot. And go to my spot, back stitch, and then I will start again. We'll start right here. Okay. And back stitch, and the lining is done. Now, the next step is optional. I did it on my first bag, so I can show you how I did it. But it is to box the corners of your bag. So here is my first bag I made, and you see it has box corners. So if you want it to just have normal pointy ends, you can leave it as it and move on to the next step. However, if you want box corners, which I think looks really nice, and it helps, like, whatever you're putting in the bag, it helps it like just sit up nice, because now it has a nice flat bottom to build off of. So that is an easy process. All you need to do is, what I did was I put the corner of the bag, where am I? This one, the bottom corner, like where my actual stitch is, on my cutting mat, and you want to go an inch from your point. So I could just do, how do I want to do this way, like line up my corner with the inch, and then draw a line there. So something like this. And we're going to stitch across that line. I'm just trying to make it to where I got the same angle. I can't remember how I did it last time. Oh, wait, no, I'm doing this wrong. I'm supposed to do this. You need to flatten out your corners first. Now I remember. So you want to pull them like this. And now I put that corner there. And I did an inch. Is that how I did it? I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Like this. Let me do this one in purple too, so I know that's the right one. Now I'll just go straight to the machine. I think that's what I did last time. I ended up like drawing it, go straight to the machine. So I could like hold it right in place. Or you can put some clips so that it helps it stay. And then same thing on this side to kind of pull the seams like this. And then I put the 1 inch here, and at that middle line I can put right down that other seam so I can get it right where I want it. And Karen is saying she usually cuts out a square and then sews it into the box. Yes, I've seen people do that too. That was making like the little boxy cosmetic bags. I've seen them do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to go stitch both of these, and then I'll come back and do the front panel of the bag. I feel like I don't have this right. There we go. And then you can trim that piece off when you're done, if I remember right. Okay. Okay, so what you are left with is, I could trim this. Make sure I don't mess up anything else. And now I'm left with the bottom of my bag having these boxed corners like that. So that is the lining. Now let's do the same thing to the front panel of the bag. So open it, and I'm kind of lining up this seam with this seam so that they're like right on top of each other. And 1 inch down. And same thing with the other side. Okay, so I'm just like feeling for the front and the back seam. And 1 inch. Down. I'll do that later. Okay, and now we'll go back to the machine and sew those, and then we're almost done. Okay, this corner. All right, and now we're done with our boxiness. And it's all coming together now. We got the front, we got the inside. So now what we want is our main bag to still be inside out, right? Right side's going on the inside of the bag. However, we want to put the lining in where it's right side out. And we want to put this inside of here. So essentially you have right sides together here and here on the inside of the bag. And now it's just a game of getting it in there and lining up your seams like this. So just getting all this lined up and flipped. And now we are going to go around the whole top of the bag with the 1/4 inch seam allowance. So if you have your sewing machine with your flatbed off and your free arm exposed, it might make this piece, this particular part a little bit easier, but I don't have that, so I'm just going to do it the hard way. We did the same thing. I just did a class in my VIP membership group where we made custom stockings. Oh, I see my batteries and my microphone's about to go dead. Let me change that real quick. But in my VIP group, I need batteries. And nobody's home to go get me batteries. Ugh. Okay. I'm just going to keep watching it. It's blinking, but maybe it'll last until we're done. We made custom stockings in my VIP membership group, and they had several steps like this where we had to sew the cuff of the stocking. And that's when maybe I wish I could take the arm, the embroidery arm off the machine, because it would make it easier to sew. All right, I'm just going to keep an eye on my microphone. If it goes out, just know that it's going to take me probably 2 minutes to run downstairs and find batteries, because I usually have them in my craft room. However, I'm a bad person, and I don't think I refilled it the last time I used them. All right. All right, done with that part. Now my light is green, like it's not going to, so maybe it's fine. Maybe it was just freaking out for a second. Okie dokie. So now we have this, and we're going to pull out the lining that we did, but remember we have a hole in our lining, and now we can turn the whole bag right side out. Ta-da! Okay, so we got our bag and our lining, but we still have the hole in the lining. So what I'm going to do is just go do a top stitch. I'm going to fold this in. If it cooperates with me, come on now. And I'm just going to go top stitch this bottom of the lining piece, so then that we don't have a hole anymore. Okay, I think I got this good. All right, so we're going to go back to the machine and stitch that. I see Lisa saying trim my corners first. Did I forget? Ooh, I did forget to trim the corners. Where did I forget? I trimmed these. I forgot to trim these, didn't I? Thank you, Lisa, for the reminder. So we boxed the corners, but I did. Oh, but I sewed. Let's see. There we go. Let me trim those real quick. Okay, now that's better. Okay, so now all the corners are trimmed. Very good. And line this back up. Okay, and I'm gonna go top stitch that really quickly. Doo-doo. All right, so now we have the bottom of our bag sealed up, and I could trim those little threads. Okay, and now we can turn it right side out. Let me turn my iron back on so we can press it and make it all nice. There's our lining that goes in the bag, like so. Look how pretty. I love it, love it, love it. So all we have left now is we can press this seam, we can press the whole bag, Get it all nice. And then we add our drawstring. And so we have our little buttonholes that we made already. And you're going to need 2 pieces of cord. They recommended, I think they gave me enough cord for the giant bag, but I made the little bag. So for the little bag, let's see. Where's the, tells me how much cord. Drawstring, 28 inches. So you need 2 pieces that are 28. I wonder if I could cut this and get 2 string. Oh, this is not 2 pieces. Okay. So 28 inches is here. And I'm guessing a little bit of lighter action. Where's my lighter? Would seal that up. We got this nifty new little tool when I was doing the Sip and Stitch holiday workshop that burns threads, this little guy, but that's for like 1 piece of thread at a time. I see also on here they have some tape on the end, so that might help as well. You can put a little bit of Scotch tape around it, help it stay nice. You're going to end up putting the ends of your string in a knot, so probably won't be super noticeable. There we go. Something like this. Oh, that didn't help much, did it? It's fine. All right, now 28 inches again. Oh, nope, not this, not that much. Okay. Got a little fire happy there. Okay, so we got our 2 pieces of cord, and we're going to need safety pin. And we are going to use the safety pin to help us guide. But I think there's one more step after we press it. You kind of want to make channel by top stitching here and here along the front and the back, so that you create like a little channel for your cord to go. So let me press this first, and then, because I'm not very good at sewing a straight line, when I did my other bag, I used my ruler and drew a line so I wouldn't mess it up. Because they give you some measurements of where the stitch should be. But if I have to go around a bag with that stitch, it's gonna get wonky at some point and not be where it's supposed to. Alrighty then. So let's see where they say the stitch line should be. I remember right. Now, they say, so around the cuff of the bag, 1/8 of an inch above and below the buttonholes to create the casing for the drawstring. So I think I probably did 1/4 of an inch because I can't. My ruler doesn't have 1/8. So I did something like this. And I used my marker. And then to make sure that I had it straight, I did this to extend my line so I can see it's like pretty much an inch from the top. And like 2¼ inches from the top for this one. So again, this is just me because I know I'm not good at keeping things probably right where they're supposed to be. So this kind of just helps guide me. Where I should be going. And then I can use some water to get those lines out when I'm done. So we're going to go back to the machine now and we're going to stitch all the way around on those little blue lines that I drew. Machine. Okay. Oh, Karen has a really good point. She says she put some washi tape on the bed of her machine to kind of guide her where her straight line should be. I like that. Okay. Now I'm going to turn my bag this way so I can see my line. And I have this nifty laser beam so that it shows me right where I'm stitching, but I need to do this. Yes. So I don't know if y'all can see my little red laser, but that helps me keep things straight too. But I need a laser and I need a line on the fabric. I need both. Oh, I make a wrinkle. Okay. Okay, so that's the first one is done. And now let's do the second row. I'm just trying to make sure my fabric's all nice and straight because we are going through 2 layers. All right. Almost done. And here's where it meets back up. so now I have my channels for my drawstring, and we can feed it through. Okay, so now we can turn it back right side out and focus, focus, focus. There we go. Maybe it's thinking about it. Stay focused. So we have the bag, and where's my tie pin? Something that I use to get my markers out. You can use water. I'm sure you know that little water brush pin that I got with Collectible Christmas would probably work. But this is kind of just like that fabric folding pin, except it has Tide in it. And that gets the kind of marker I use, it gets it right out, like super quick. I don't have to drench it in water. To get the marks out. So I can finish that later, but I just wanted to show you that that works really well to get your fabric marker out. So these are my pieces. Here's my safety pin. Ow, don't poke yourself, but run your cord through. And then the first one, you're going to start at one side, whichever side you choose. Go through the buttonhole. Trying not to fray the end of my thing more. Okay. And now just, I'm not very good at this, but I just gather, gather, and then pull. And just go all the way around until you come out this side. Am I remembering that right? No, I want to come out the same side I came in. Okay, same side I came in. All right. And basically pull that until they're equal, like that. And then we're going to do the same thing, but on the other side. I probably need to tape that again. So this one I taped better. Go through this side and go the opposite direction. All right, and let's see. I'm looking at the chat while I'm doing this. All right, so Lisa's loving the Tide pin. Yes, I'm a big fan of the Tide pin because I am that person that makes someone a present, 15, 30 minutes before the party that we're supposed to go to bring them the present. And I don't want to make whatever I'm embroidering them, because I use this marker for like everything, for placement, especially like on shirts and stuff like that. I don't want to have to make whatever gift I'm making them soaking wet to get the marks out. So the Tide pin helps me just put a tiny bit right in the spot where I need it, and it dries really quickly. Now, I haven't had any bad luck with the Tide pin discoloring any of the shirts or fabrics that I've used, but I have heard people say to watch, so maybe do a test, a little test patch in the corner of your fabric, especially if it's something really special. I haven't had any bad luck, but I've been told it can happen. Okay, so there is our 2 strings. And all we need to do now, I need to tape this one. Did I not tape it? It must have came out. Let me do this. Trying to do this where it looks the best. In a way where it looks the best. But what you want to do is just tie a knot at the end of your 2 pieces of string, like that. And now you have your cinch drawstring bag. So yay, I'm glad y'all like it. So yeah, this is adorable. I love this fabric. I love it. So I wanted to save the good fabric for y'all's video tutorial. So this was some other fabric I had in my craft room, but you can see like how cute it is no matter what kind of fabric you choose. But I really love this fabric that came in this month's box. So super cute, beautifully lined bag. I love the box corners. I think it just makes it look so professional, and I am not professional when it comes to sewing, so this makes me feel very special. So that is it, guys, for tonight's project. So this was the December Perfectly Piece box. If you don't already have a subscription and you're interested in getting one, I have my referral link down in the description of the video. I do all the Me Time subscriptions because I love them all. But this one I really like because it's helping me to expand my sewing skills. So like I get really proud when I make things like this. So I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's tutorial. So again, with the box, you get the quilting pattern, so you can make the cute little present quilt block. And then you have the choice of also making a little mini quilt or a pillow. So that's what I'm doing with these. So as soon as I get these done, I'll put a picture on my Facebook and Instagram, and maybe I'll put a little video on YouTube to show you my finished mini quilt because I really, really, really like this one. It's going to be so cute when it's done. So I just have to piece it together. I got to do the little 2-inch blocks are going to be adorable. I'm sure they are. The little teeny tiny things. So I'm excited to get that mini quilt together. Again, all of that comes with your box. So y'all could see if you get the real box, you'll have all this fabric still left over. So I probably have enough to do another cinched bag. So I might try that. Maybe just with some different fabrics. I could still do this for the lining and the outer, and then do something different for my present box. So I still have enough probably to make another cinched bag, and I probably have enough cord for it too. And I'm looking at my cord that came with it. And my mini quilt. The only thing is I'm probably going to put a different fabric for the backing of the mini quilt, since I'm not going to see it anyway, because I'm actually hanging it on my cabinets. I have some cabinets in my craft room, and they're like the perfect size for my little quilts that I make with Perfectly Piece. So I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's tutorial. So if you have this box and it's coming in the mail, y'all can come and rewatch this. The replay for this tutorial will always be on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. So when you actually have all your supplies and all your fabric cut and ready, you could come back and refer to this video to help you put your quilt block and your little gift bag together step by step. So if you're not already subscribed, please do on the YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. Do y'all have any questions before I head out? Let me know in the comments. And just for those of y'all that watch my lives, our next sip and stitch. So sip and stitch is a machine embroidery tutorial, kind of like this, where we do something from start to finish. Is going to be next Friday. Yes, December 15th, I think is the date. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already signed up for my email newsletter, that's the best way to find out when I'm doing my live tutorials, because I'm not always the best at updating my Facebook page and stuff, but I send out an email every week telling y'all with everything that's going on. So stay tuned for that. If you're subscribed on YouTube, you should, I think, click the little bell button and you'll get notified whenever I go live, because I like to do live tutorials when my internet is not misbehaving. So, all right, yay, I'm glad y'all enjoyed tonight's demo. So go make some gift bags, show me pictures, tag me in whatever pictures you post after you make your gift bag or your quilt blocks. Okay, guys? So thanks again, and thanks to Me Time again for sponsoring tonight's video. Very excited to work with them, because y'all already know I'm obsessed with all the things they do. But that's it for tonight. Y'all have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your week, and I will see y'all next time. All right, bye guys.